Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. So, guys, please have some petty tea while we talk and reflect. And yes, I'm still going to be talking about money because money has to do with almost every part of our lives, and it's political, especially now. But when it comes to dating and marriage, with marriage, it's one of the top three reasons why people get divorced. And again, money is political. So when men have the nerve to tell me, why do women care about politics? Well, one, we don't get paid at the same level, and we get looked down on when we have education in order to be able to be independent financially, and or when we strive to have a career, they think we are always supposed to just care about having babies than actually have, like, for some women, your dream is to have the husband, the house, the kids. Congratulations to you. I'm not that girl. It's like I wanted that to be part of my life. I wanted the husband, I wanted the house and the kids, but then I I had such low self-esteem, and my mother telling me, as long as you walk like that, no one's ever going to love you. Yeah, but you know the rest. Well, want you, love you, or marry you, but the love part is the thing that, cuz if she said no one, she's someone. And so part of me kind of felt like she was just letting me know she didn't love me and that no one in the family loved me. And that's one reason why sometimes it felt like when I didn't get in trouble, yes, I'm going on the side, but I'm coming right back because it kind of curves back, or it does a U-turn towards money and everything. The sad part is, like, whenever she couldn't find something out that was going on in my life that I was doing wrong, that's when she would go in my room and go through my drawers and literally hunt down something to yell at me for. It's like I just feel like she was just bored, and but her hobby was how to ruin my life and how to make sure that I felt like garbage. That's literally how I felt. I still feel that way. I mean, she passed away, but I mean, it's like when I think of her, I just like that's the relationship we had. But then people have the nerve to tell me she loved me, and it's just like, oh. But especially when it came to money, she always compared me to other siblings and, like, getting even work wise. She told me I would never find a job and that no one was going to hire me. But then yeah, it's like, let's, I had one job where it was door to door sales. It was an absolutely terrible job, and they were hiring anybody, everybody, whatever. But to me, I thought I can put this job on my resume. If I can just last 3 to 6 months, I can put it on my resume. And since they say they're a marketing, like, they're not real. Yeah, look, I got stories about that company. But at least I could say that I did some marketing and I could put it on my resume. But I will never forget when she told me to quit the job and I said no. It's like, you told me no one's ever going to want me or hire me for any position. And then you turn around saying no one's ever going to want me, love me, or marry me. Basically, both times telling me that no one's ever going to want me. So now that I finally found a job, it's a terrible job, but it's a job that will help me start getting on my feet and hopefully to be able to move out. But she always told me, you will never get on your feet. You're never going to move out. No one's ever going to want to hire you. You're going to be stuck here with me. And even when I say that, like, thinking about all the things, but this is what she said. All of but then it's like she always got mad because I never wanted to hang out with her. She would say I was evil because, like, when she was watching Lifetime movies or Hallmark or whatever, or even like the Golden Girls and stuff like that. I love some of those shows. I enjoyed some of those shows, but I didn't want to be anywhere near her because all she said to me was either I was never going to find a job, I was never going to be successful, that my writing was a waste of time and that she better not find any more of my writing. So that's why I had to hide all of my poetry and stories and notebooks and stuff under the sink in the bathroom for years. When it came to dating, it's like, other than the guy from church, no one was going to be good enough because she only wanted a certain type of guy, a very certain type of guy. But then I realized the guy that I was trying to date was like, the church brainwashed me into wanting to date, but I didn't want to date that type. That was, yeah, he wasn't my type, but then my mom tried to force me to stay in that into that relationship. But yeah, you guys already listened to that series. Whew, that was a hot mess. But when it came to work, she told me to quit that door to door job. And I was like, no, I need this to start my resume. I found a job. It's terrible, but I'm going to suck it up, buttercup, for 6 months. And then this will give me time to apply for other jobs and things as well. But at least I found something. It got to a point where she called one of my aunts. And I mean, and you don't know who it is, so I can say, like, my mom, I don't know if she got emotional. I don't know. Like, my mom played her so, oh my gosh, the way she played my aunt. It was to a point where my aunt came into my bedroom and she is crying. Oh, you have to quit this job. You have to leave it. It's for your safety. It's like, we don't want you working this job and da 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 da, whatever, blah blah blah. So stupid. It was to a point where it's like, because I kept saying no, and I remember I was like at my bookcase or whatever, and it's like, okay, I don't know if she cornered me, but it was like, it was at a point where she wasn't gonna let me go by her unless I let her hold me or squeeze. And she was like, she came to me and like held me. You have to quit in the name of Jesus, and she just started saying it, like speaking in tongues and stuff, and I'm just like, get off me. Not until God like convinces you to quit this job. Oh my gosh. And I was just like, you know what? Fine, fine. I don't like, it's like, she would not leave my room until I said I was going to quit the job. But then 2 days later, my mom called me into the room and she was just like, so you quit the job? Yeah, you kind of forced me to. You know, no one else is going to hire you. You know, you're going to be stuck here. No one's going to hire you while you walk like that. It's like, you still don't know how to pick up your feet. No one's going to hire someone who doesn't even know how to pick up their feet. You're so lazy. I was so lazy, but I had a job and I was working my tush off. I was so lazy, but I was busting my tush off, and I was applying for other jobs while working that job and applying for grad school. I got, well, yeah, but so I don't know. It's just, and I'm telling all these stories because I know some people judge those who are on food stamps and things, but you have no idea, like, the struggle some people go through, and even going to job interviews. People read a book by its cover, and some people are bigots. If they see a black person, they're not going to hire them. I have had job interviews where the phone interview was over the phone, but then lo and behold, they looked up my LinkedIn profile. And 2 or 3 times they called me back, canceling the interview right after. Because I had the app on my phone, and it would say that so called person from the same company just looked at your LinkedIn profile. And then sometimes within minutes or hours the same day, I would get a call of them canceling. And it's just like, okay, well, that's pretty racist. But it's, I will never forget like having to quit that job. And then that's how I ended up at the zoo, because I had that job and I was going to work it for like 3, 6 months and everything. But yeah, I already just said what happened. But then I worked at the zoo. And like I said, I think in part 1 or 2, It was one of the best experiences, but the pay, minimum wage, $8 an hour. And whew, it's like I met some really cool and amazing people. Oh, but then I met some yeah, let's just say some were interesting. And I'll never forget one of the managers. She hated me. And because especially when she found out that I was in grad school or that I finished my bachelor's and in grad school, oh, she would like one time I opened the door, she was talking about me and I did not interrupt. And oh, the receptionist there, she was hilarious because she kind of saw me and her eyes got big. And I was just like, I was like, nope, 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 don't you say, I want to hear. And oh, she is just talking about me. And the receptionist is just like, oh my gosh, she's like, this is like, and even once the woman realized that I was right behind her, it's like the receptionist and I, we were cracking up. But it's like 'cause she was hating on me. Like this black girl has her college degree. What she thinks she's gonna do? She thinks she's gonna do something with that. Oh, and then she talks so prim and proper. Oh, like the guests name her Butterfly Girl. Oh yeah, it's like if I talked like that, I'd probably get a nickname too. If I acted or if I was like so bubbly and cheery and blah blah, I'd probably have a nickname too. But it's like, oh, she just has to act like I think she called me like Rainbow Bride or somebody. She named me like one of the 80s characters that are really bubbly or whatever, but it was just really odd. But yeah, it was $8 an hour. Great experience. Like I have so many stories about that job. So many stories about that job. But especially, oh my God. Well, I think one of the guys ended up with a tether for some reason. And I just remember like at the like with the zoo, it's like I think they told him he had to wear khakis long enough to cover it up because he didn't have it until like after like I don't know, it's like yeah, there was one guy who he worked as little as humanly possible. And oh yeah, yeah, I'll save him. Yeah, I'll talk about him a different day. Maybe remind me because I have so many stories to spill and tell. But yeah, it's like a lot of people keep trying to judge the people that are on the, the lower class or whatever. And I don't even like saying that because, like I said in previous episodes, you have people who have the less amount of money who have the biggest hearts. But then the people with the biggest like wallets or whatever, they don't some of them don't even have a heart. They're bankrupt in the heart department. Maybe that's why they need so much money because they have no emotions, they don't have no empathy, compassion and love for anybody else but money. And they love being selfish with it. It's like they don't even want to spend it in that like back to the Inventing Anna movie or series or whatever. They don't want to spend their own money to build themselves up. They want to use the bank's money. They want to keep as much as their money as humanly possible. They will commit fraud and everything else just to be more rich. Being rich is more valuable than friendships, connections, and being authentic to other people. But now, with what's going on in government, people are blaming the poor. When a lot of these poor people, they would be the ones where if you need a talk or a plate or compassion or even a room or a couch for the night, they're the ones that's going to offer it. They're the ones that's going to have open arms. And I don't know, it's like, I just think it's really disheartening and sad and pathetic. And it's a lot of the people who they will sit in the front row at church. They will sit like they will be at the church praising, saying hallelujah and all this other stuff. But then they're gonna be laughing when people aren't able to, eat or feed their children. You have all these people to like telling people, It's like, oh, make your own lunches, do this, do that. And it's just like a lot of the people on food stamps are working 30, 40 hours. Some have two jobs. And some might have been in a relationship or might have been dating, but then once they said they were pregnant, he got to bounce. So then you got to think about the single mothers. And remember, you don't like you're pro life, so I mean, come on now. If she needs a little help to feed that child, shouldn't you blame the father that abandoned her and left her? Shouldn't you blame him? I mm. Because we have so many large million billionaire type of companies who it all it's like they're trying to create monopolies because they start as one company, but once they get big enough they buy another company, and then they attach another company and another company until they are so large that they cannot be topped or beat by anybody else. And even looking at like earlier or in another part of the series when I was talking about getting your nails done and everything else and trying to look the part, because no one wants to look poor. No one wants to look the way that people are going to look down on them. And I kept hearing some people talking about the phone, the cell phone. And they were just like, if I see these people walking around with the iPhone, then I'm going to blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. How dare you? How dare you? Because especially being a professor or even teaching K through 8, it's like when a kid does not have an iPhone, they get teased. They get called being poor. Image is everything. What you own is everything. Money is everything, especially within the American system. People see you for what you have and what you don't have. They see you with how you are able to manipulate and use like the items and people around you. That's how a lot of people, especially Republicans, and in my opinion, come on now. But it's just pretty disgusting. Okay, because like I said, a lot of these people work more than one job, and it's like a lot have kids, and I mean, sometimes after you have kids with employment, if the kids are sick and just things happen, and then the job lets you go, and or so, it's like sometimes if one kid is sick and one has tons of homework, and then you get tired and you might end up late at work and things like that. Things happen. And then also the disability community, my community, it's like, I didn't ask to be born like this. And some aren't even born, like some might have been in a car accident or some kind of accident, even a work accident. And what about injured veterans too? We didn't ask to be disabled. We didn't. And so if you're going to choose not, or if you're going to celebrate not being able to feed those who we didn't, like you say pro-life, but then you don't want to feed the lives that need assistance and help. You're going to refuse to feed the people who did not choose the disadvantages in this country. It's like, why not make more jobs for the disabled, or even like people like myself? I went through all that schooling and education while not diagnosed. I should have been able to get more scholarships and opportunities and things, but my doctors were idiots. And I don't have to say in my opinion, because if you've been listening to the episodes, no, they're idiots. It's like I have new doctors who I think I can trust, but that's still pending. But my past doctors, idiots. Oh, especially Dr. George Sorelle. Yeah, he just told me go home and lose weight. Even though he weighs more than me, even though, like, yeah, there's like, I will never forget when he said that. And I'm just like, I was horrified and a little hurt because I'm just like, Uh, and then, because just a few years later, I had to have major surgery. Just a few years later, and then my surgeon even asked my dad and my sister, "How in the world did she walk on this? This is one of the most like, how did no? How did she walk? It's like, how much pain was she in?" And it was because she was like, I don't have to ask how, I don't have to ask if she was in pain, because she was in pain on this. She was like, how did she survive on, like, I mean, the way that she was asking, because after the surgery and everything, and I was finally like fully awake, that's when they were asking me or telling me all of the questions the surgeon was asking them, because she could not believe it. So when it comes to being disabled in the disabled community, I walked and worked on that leg until I could not. Until I was literally crawling around the house for 3 to 4 months, until they finally assigned a date for my much needed surgery. But if I was on food stamps, people would be laughing at me. People would want me to not be fed, even though I never asked for this. I never asked for this. I worked my tush off. And before the surgery, like, I was working at like well, the adjunct professor position. I was working 2 classes most semesters. And then I was teaching at the K-8 school in the inner city. And then I was still doing some of the secret shops. And I was writing my first draft of my novel, and also I was like working on some business ideas. So it's just like when people try to say people on food stamps, make, they don't work, they don't want to work, they're late. Like, you have no idea. It's like one of the main reasons I haven't been able to really start up the businesses is because of money. It's like having to spend money on like some of the equipment for my physical therapy, and then for just and the non at home, like, I have physical therapy that I do at home and then at the center, and then there's other health things that I have to do in order to stabilize my disability. And it's a long list, but it's expensive. And so the people who celebrate for some people not to be able to be fed every month, you have no idea. Especially for, like, I'm going to specifically talk about the disabled community because that's the community I understand. If you don't know what we go through, and especially some of us who we tried our best. And the thing is, I'm getting my business together. So, but I say we because the time that I had to have the surgery and I could not work anymore, when I was literally in tears because I was in so much pain. And even at like, I still have phantom pain sometimes. There are still times where I do not want to move because I'm like, I have to remind myself still that's how much pain I was in. And it's just the thought that people would celebrate me not being able to eat, even though I worked for so many years, 2 or 3 jobs, and I'm still employed today. But it's just like, when before all of this, when I worked, I worked. And the thing is, like, even if you don't know, like, yeah, I almost have 530 episodes on YouTube right now. And then I'm working on finally getting the greeting cards and the candles and my novel and my coloring books and activity books and other items up for sale to get everything together for. Oh yeah, and I on my Etsy store, I do have some of the reading bingo cards. And I have so many more. I have 5 that are kind of finished. I just need to upload. But anyways, just know, it's like, we're not lazy. So many people want to stereotype us. And back to the cell phone part, because I started but I didn't finish. Like, I have an Android, and I have an Android because I love Android. It's like, I did do promotional modeling for iPhone on and off for about 3 or 4 years. And it was really funny because I was one of the only employees that was not allowed to have my cell phone on the floor because it was Android. But everyone else, they would even, oh, look at my phone. Mine's newer than yours. Mine's newer than yours. Oh, look at my cover. Mine's prettier. And it's like, I don't just watching how they label, like, I remember the person who had they're like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to finish this part. And I'm probably going to have a second part with the iPhone because it was, now that I'm thinking about it, it's so scary about that demographic and stuff. Because I remember when they were just like, ooh, who has the oldest version of iPhone? And so they all lined up each other's cell phones and they would say which model and everything. But then they found out who had the oldest one. And almost the entire time they would put that person down and tease them or mock them. When are you going to get a newer version? Oh, yeah, you only have this model. Oh, yeah, that's so old. And it's just like, what? Are you are you serious? Are you that like are you that materialistic, dumb, and just evil? Like, I mean, it's a phone, okay? It's like, wouldn't you be happy? Like, is what about their quality of conversation? What about the quality of them being like of the human being and everything like that? What about their personality? It's and but then yeah, I have a lot more to talk about that, but I'll leave that for another episode. But even teaching at the middle school, if you didn't have an iPhone, they thought they would bully you and tease you. And me being a teacher with a Android, they're like, "Oh, you must be poor. Oh, you must be poorer than my parents," and things like. And I kind of thought it was kind of funny because it's like, I mean, for one, I love Android or like especially usage of it. Like, I like it more than iPhone. Yay, surprise. So yeah, you would never see me sponsor. Like, I don't know. It's like, I mean, I see the benefits of some of the products because that's the thing. Like, there's some things where when I use Apple products, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. But at the same time, it's like I like being able to use technology in all different forms and by different companies. But at the same time, when it comes to the cell phone, I find Android more user friendly. That's just me. That's my opinion. So I would never be in a commercial for iPhone because I'm more of an Android person. But with the laptops, I like both. And I see benefits of both in different ways. So, but anyway, like I've just said that because I don't want like iPhone people like, oh, she thinks no, that's not it. It's like, but okay, anyways, back to the eighth graders would call me poor and just so many awful, terrible things. And then even the college students, it's like when I remember a few times I was like, oh, so how many of you guys have an iPhone? Every single student would pick up their iPhone and shit most of the time no one had Android. No one. But then when they saw that I had Android, then they would start judging me and putting me down. Oh, professor, you must not make too much money. You must not have a lot. Professor, is that why you're single? Is that why you're not married? Like, they would say some of the craziest assumptions. And I'm just like, what? And oh, even dating. I mean, there are some men who they were interested in me until they found out I had Android. Especially when it came to texting, once they saw that my text messages came green to them, they would never. It's like one of the guys was like, oh, you're a slum android? Okay, never mind. And then hung up on me and blocked me. And so I don't know. It's just when people judge off of the phone, you do not know the image. You do not know how much people judge you just by your phone and how disgusting and pathetic. Because I have so many more stories just based off the phone. And that's why I said, it's like when people get mad if the woman gets her hair or nails done, or if she sells some of her food stamps, it's like sometimes you have to look the part. Sometimes while you're trying to get yourself out of where the situation you're in, sometimes you have to play the part. But thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handy capable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.